let it load a little bit. I don't know where these things be starting sometimes and everything. Um, but let me let it load, but let me not labor the point, okay? Um, morning where I'm at. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are, and whatever you see this and everything like that. I'm gonna try and keep this short, okay? I know it's been like a little bit over a week since my last one and everything, but my, what a week it's been and everything. My God, he's moving. Oh my goodness, my God, he's moving, and what a good God he is. You know what I'm saying? Because when he moves, if you in position, he's moving on your behalf. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody's ever been like, I've never actually surfed. Okay, so never ever surfed. It's on my, I don't even want to call it a bucket list. I got a watershed list. I don't even know. I don't know what kind of, what could be. I don't even know if it's a list. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And everything. But anyways, on my bucket list, learn how to surf. Oh, I belabor the. Oh man, I do not want to digress or go on any tangents. I gotta get this out and everything. Um, get on, squeeze the juice of the day. You know what I'm saying? Squeeze the juice of the day. So, just so much, just so much. In the past few days, I got different downloads and everything like that. So I'll try to fit them in if appropriate and everything like that. Um, but for the most part, it's just about how God's moving right now. Ain't nothing but divine movement at this point and everything, moving all the pieces on a checkerboard or chessboard and everything like that. That's a cute hat she got on and so easily distracted. OMG. so mm, 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 mm. What a sweet, savory, delectable taste it is. Anyways, so to first and foremost, welcome to the Apex Radio TV show platform. If this is your first time, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. It is I, your girl, Indigo. You already know. If you don't, you know what to do, boo, and everything like that. So, if you can't hear me, this is my morning voice. So, you're welcome and everything. Quite the gift and everything. Join first thing in the morning. Amen. Good morning. And so yeah, man, got squeeze out this OJ, got squeeze out this orange juice like right now, and everything. And that's funny. Say my name. You acting kinda shady and calling me baby. Why the sudden change? Say my name. So let me not get distracted. I'm trying to get this in 10 minutes or less, just like a pizza. So or like how pizza used to be and everything. When we had hello everybody coming in chat, come and go as you please, and everything. Like if you might, subscribe if you like the vibe and all of that. This is Indigo. Um, but so big things popping, little things stopping. That's what this is. The message that I have right now is gonna hopefully help somebody. Okay, amen, amen. Oh, amen. Thank you for the subscribe and the like, Mr. Seth, and everything. So yes, so big things popping, little things stopping. I'm really gonna try like with all my all my spectral difficulties to try to make this succinct and everything. Especially with the full moon coming up. Man, we got the 888 portal coming up. We in the month of August. With the eight number of abundance. The loops of infinity, when you turn it on its side, we got a lot going on right now. Okay, we got a lot going on right now. So this is for like at least one person out there in the big wide world web, big wide world of webs and everything. So things are moving, pieces are moving and everything on the chessboard, and be in a position is more important than ever. It's more important than ever to actually be in position and be playing your role and knowing what your role is. Hopefully my voice is like just one of the things underestimated been in the spiritual gym lifts. One of the things underestimated been in the spiritual gym lifting weights, you know what I'm saying, doing what they got to do, and doing the inner work. But a lot of times the inner work doesn't really have outside results. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like actually working in the gym. You don't go to the gym one time after eating a certain diet, or being not doing something for a while, and go to gym one time and think you're gonna have a six pack. That's not how anything works in this realm. Nothing works like that. Everything comes from work, determination and consistency. Over a period of time, since we have to deal with the 4D of time, the construct of time, we gotta deal with time here. You know what I'm saying? Like in other realms, maybe you could snap your fingers and have a six pack, or I mean, you could do it with, you could do it with money and surgery as well, but that's also going to take time to heal and make you look like something, other than a bloated balloon. So, excuse me, it's the morning where I'm at. Excuse me. So, so as far as like spirituality, when I say we lifting weights in the spiritual gym, you know, um, same thing. It takes time. It takes time. It takes repetition. It takes consistency. It takes intentionality. You're not really going to get good results on accident. You're not going to just go to the gym and just try a few things, and you know what I'm saying. You're going to try a few leg pumps and this, that, and third, and get any type of sustainable results. Nobody expects that for anything. And so, I mean, people do have misconceptions sometimes, but I mean, realistically, that through time and consistent effort, then you're going to get results. Same thing with spiritual results. Spiritual maturity. So that's what people have been doing, if they know better, or if they've been doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, people in my collective, people that I'm going to be connected with, people that around the world that I'm tied to, that's what we've been doing. We've been biding our time, laying back, laying low, getting our weight up, spiritually and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Getting scripture, getting the word. You know what I'm saying? Getting the sign signals and smoke screens out the way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that there's that. So a lot of us have been being moved a different way to get different results. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same thing. So yeah, so we've been asked to move different. We've been asked to cut stuff off. We've been asked to, like, what I'm saying, like when I move, you move, just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that daddy been calling the shots and everything for a lot of us. Uh, Big Daddy G, God, and everything. So you know what I'm saying, and he don't speak in a loud voice, not no more. He burst our whole existence in the pieces, but a very quiet, still voice. So you actually have to be quiet and quiet the noise and quiet all the other stuff and everything to get to the good, the good direction, the good juice. It's a narrow path, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta listen close and everything. So our ears have been to the spiritual, our spiritual ears, inner ears have been to the spiritual ground, you know what I'm saying? So we haven't had a lot of time for chit chat and gossiping and knowing who's diddling who and what's trumping what. We don't care, because there's this right now beyond this realm, and all that is showing that somebody, like, I don't, again, this is the interweb, so it goes around the world, not really sure people's education systems are like. But in America, we have time tests, we have time exams. Like, you have a certain amount of time to answer the questions, and you better know the knowledge, you better have studied, so that you can get the right. I'm tired of nobody timing it but me. So, haters gonna hate, players gonna play, everything like that. Big things popping, little things stopping. So basically, we're on the time test right now, right? Time exam, and basically, yes, we're being asked to put things away, put things to the side, cut things off that aren't for our greater good and everything like that. And those that have the inner ears to hear and the eyes to see can hear and see that, things are moving different than they've ever before. And they're being able to have the, since we've been in the gym working on the discernment, working on our ability to have boundaries, working on our ability to be adaptable, getting, dying to our ego every day, all the inner work, been doing it or for the past year, few years, year for sure, So all of this stuff, we're being tested with it. We're being time tested. So it's like a condensed test of all the knowledge that we've been accruing over the past few years, 5 to 10 to 15 years, So that's what's happening right now. And as many people that can pass the test is as many people that'll be able to graduate and anchor, the new energies, the new stuff that has to happen, the foundational stuff that has to happen. So, when I say each one reach one, teach one, it's honestly like it's not like, okay, if I get an A, then you know what I'm saying, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying. Like, the more of us that gets an A, the easier my work will be, because there'll be more people to do the good work. You know what I'm saying? So spreading the message even beyond, comfort or convenience is actually for the greater good. So it's like making those type of decisions and stuff like that. So, like I said, putting things away, being asked to, grow through the discomfort and everything like that. So I was asked to share, some of my things that I've noticed in the past, just in the past, like, past week for sure, like, this past year for sure. I've had to, like, be very, very, me personally. The only reason I'm sharing, I'm a very private person, open book though. The only reason I'm sharing is just like, this is for somebody, like, as far as an example of, what type of changes and stuff have had to be made, or, and everyone is different too, but I'm just saying, as far as, like, my personal experience, I've noticed in the past week or two, like, just how, delivered I am, like, from certain things that used to have a hold on me. I used to, I mean, and none of this, and again, none of this is for judgment. None of this is like, it feels, everyone's at different parts of their journeys, and and nothing is forever, nothing is finite, you know what I'm saying? So you might be asked to put something down for a season, but then you might be able to pick it up again as the new version of yourself or something like that. So, spirituality and all that stuff, like, it's not, religion is, tells you to lie, that you can be pure, you can make yourself pure, and you can do something and get rewarded, and da 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 da. That's not it. Grace and mercy, there's nothing we can do for it. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that you can do is show, gratitude that you have it, by wanting to just do better. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's like your parents get you a Maserati for your 16th birthday. The least you could do is clean your room. You didn't. Cleaning your room wasn't going to get you the Maserati, but keep your room clean. Show that you appreciate some shit. You're not just a little, little jerk. Just gets things. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's the best analogy I can think of right now. But yeah, so it's like, yeah, let me do better. I want better results. I want a better relationship with someone that loves me so much, and my, higher power father that loves me so much. Let me just show him that I love him back in my own little way. You know what I'm saying? And everything. So that's kind of like what it is. So anyways, so yeah, so I don't know. I've had past videos. I don't feel shame or guilt about it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I used to smoke to a good degree at some points in my life. At different degrees of stress levels and everything, and different degrees of addiction. I would smoke, once a day, if not multiple times a day. Marijuana and everything. And truth be told, I had stints when I was in, like, relationships with cigarette smokers, and I just picked up the habit of cigarettes, or I had a friend, or I even grew up, and I grew up my grandmother smoking cigarettes. I never did it when I was younger. It wasn't until I was like a little, young adult. But I had different phases and stuff like that of substances and everything like that. I used to drink. I used to drink. Had a time when I was in college. Used to drink a lot. To excess. You know what I'm saying, and everything. Tequila and everything like that. Like, I haven't really done that since like 2018 and everything. Kind of, get scaled off. But now it's like, it's definitely, like, it's definitely back to what it was. I didn't start drinking or smoking or none of that stuff until I was a young adult. So, um, I had my journey with it, had my phase, I got my story with it. It was my portion, you know what I'm saying? But just all that to say is it's definitely in the past year I've been asked to really just like put my foot down on certain things and have boundaries and say no and be very strategic with my movements. Like I've been like my inner self, my spirit self has just been um very regimented on where I can be, who I can talk to, and stuff like that. And and like I said, I feel like it's just been like practice of just when like for this test that we have and everything, and like even like okay, so smoking, alcohol. I don't know. It's like I don't know what to say. Like I don't know if to say the religious word. I guess fornication. I haven't done that in over a year. So it's like, I like my vessel. Like I just, I don't, I'm just like, it's clean. Like it's not, again, it's not about anybody else. It's just like me personally, I've been listening. I've been paying attention and trying to follow directions and everything like that. It is a narrow path, and not to get no kudos or accolades. Just the more that I understand the nature of the relationship, the intimacy that my divine creator wants with me. It is kind of like preparing yourself for marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be, no matter where life has brought you up till then, ideally if you love your counterpart or who you're going to merge your life with, you want to bring your best self, and that comes from loving yourself too, like loving some, like it's a symbiotic relationship. It's a level of intimacy where it's just like, you know um like it's like even if it's not about marriage, even if it's like going on a date or entertaining someone, and you're having an inside, whatever, you want to clean up, you want to take, one's going to go on a date not having brushed their teeth and taken a shower at least, you want to put your best foot forward. So it's kind of like that. It's not like, you going on the first date and you're brushing your teeth and you think, oh, he's simping, he's doing too much, he wants clean teeth and clean breath and stuff like that, or he's throwing soap on him and cologne and stuff like, oh, look at him simping. Like, no, it's like you're putting your best foot forward. Like that's what a reasonable minded person will do, So even more so if you're merging your life, you're merging your existence, you're merging your identity with a counterpart, and it's just like, you want to be your best self, you want to bring your best, you know what I'm saying? You don't want none of that, you know what I'm saying? Like none of that on you, you know what I'm saying? You want to step correct and everything, especially for the right one, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's like that, being delivered. It's like it feels liberating, and then now I completely understand now. Like it's not he doesn't tell us not to do this and not to do that because it's bad or this, that, and the third. He wants the best for us. He wants us feeling good, looking good, smelling good. And then from that, all good things will come. You know what I'm saying? I will have nothing but good to offer someone because I don't feel raggedy about myself. You know what I'm saying? I will say no because it's like I'm valuing the work that I've put in. You know what I'm saying? I'm valuing like my whole being, my whole entity. Like I'm valuing that now, whereas before, the sense of self-worth and self-value was not inherent, because it hadn't really been instilled or supported or you know what I'm saying? It hadn't been part of my foundational upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the sense of value, sense of self, sense of not and from not and then again from the inside out, not from the outside in. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, your cookies in the cookie jar and this, that, and the third, and no man's gonna want you type of thing. Like, that's toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense just from a whatever standpoint, like a toxic, traumatized standpoint. Okay, but like from the inside out, that level of self-worth is like, having value and knowing like your worth. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different. It gets you moving different. You know what I'm saying? And everything. You know what to say no to, and then you look back at what you used to say yes to, and you're just like, I've been delivered. You feel me? So, so yeah, so that's the message. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been, those are my collective, those connected to me, those align with like the journey that might be similar to mine and everything. That's out here doing the good work, putting the best foot forward, putting on that, putting on that smell good. Trying to, look like something no matter what is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause my daddy, you don't know who my doesn't matter what's happening. I get stopped at the stop. Do you know who my father is? No, no, no. What's your name and your badge number? Do you know who my father is? Do you want your job tomorrow? Or you want to be employed? Like, you don't know who you stop. That's what I'm saying. So, you know what I'm saying? You move different. You move different when your identity is placed in the proper position and you're playing your proper role. Like, no, I am kept. I moved back into my father's house in the last summer and I haven't left. I love it here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what it looks like. Do you know who my father is? Like, golly. He said it's all to my good. He says, greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. Like, I'm standing on it. Like, I can't stand on no raggedy man's words. He's not a man that he should lie. Some raggedy man come tell me some raggedy lies and then gonna try and break me down because he don't got no sense of self and confidence in himself. Oh my gosh, you look back, you're like, thank God, I'm delivered. So that being said, 23 minutes will go off on that and everything like that. Like I said, like if you might subscribe if you like the vibe and everything. It's your girl Indigo. This is the Apex Radio TV show platform, arts for short. And yeah, go check some past videos because over the past few weeks, I had like different themes and everything that's kind of tied together. So I talked about a sense of identity, which is like a little bit what I talked about. Having boundaries and being adaptable. Especially during this time as we have a lot of stuff hitting us, a lot of changes, a lot of people making changes that they thought they was real stable with their stable jobs and their stable stability and stable this and square that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that's just not how life really works. That's not the reality. They built a false life. We say Matrix. They built a false life over real reality, and reality is going to hit a lot of folks. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to need, those of us that know that had their ears spiritual ears to the ground. We're going to need, the arc. For those that and honestly, unfortunately, like again, I've been saying for years, and this more for myself than anybody else, that everybody's not going to make it. So not everybody's going to make it because they're going to be so tied to the lies and that dying to yourself, dying to just dying to everything external that doesn't align with what your father's saying. And energetically, hopefully, the player haters and mess around. I like on my end, I don't see nothing. I don't see no chopped off lips or words or nothing like that. But when I look back at it, I guess we'll see because they did cut me off a few times. But hopefully the message did get squeezed out to your liking, and everybody got the portion that they require and deserve. And gonna be signing off energetically. Have a beautiful, blessed. What is it? Thursday? It was Thursday today, but everybody have a beautiful, blessed day no matter when you see this. Okay. All right. Loving everybody. Signing off.